Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Hallmark show, Let's Go Places, sponsored by Paul Mellon here at the beautiful new car showroom. It's a shame that we don't have as many cars, and we're going to talk about the present status of the car industry. But welcome to Let's Go Places. We've been doing this show now for 12 years. Bree at the helm here, our engineer. Thanks for being here as always, Bree, to keep us in a certain type of forum here. Charlie Esposito.
Keep us clean.
Yes, keep us clean. The president of our Philadelphia Police, Fire, and Correctional Officers Association, of which I'm honored to say I'm one of the board members as well as one of the directors. Today's a great show. We're going to be recapping some of our years in the past, the shows that we continue to conduct here with some themes behind some of the shows, like Justice for All, with our Bucks County District Attorney, Matt Weintraub.
Soon to be judge. Yes.
Soon to be judge. And Jennifer Shorn, who's just a sweetheart, but very stern and strict when it comes to prosecuting. Jennifer Shorn, our first Assistant District Attorney, and hopefully soon to be our next District Attorney. Fred Harron, behind the badge. We do a show with Fred. A lot of our police chiefs, John McNesby at the FOP Lodge 5. Many years we've had this show at the Fraternal Order Police at 11630 Caroline Road. Beautiful place to visit. If you're interested in a social membership, please give us a call. You can touch base with me. We're going to be covering a lot of interesting points of interest and some of the shows that will hopefully reinvigorate, like Dining Around, when we did the Dining Around show.
That was a good run.
It was a great run.
Yeah.
Hopefully
we ate some good food.
And we did. I gained some weight. Not that I wanted to. But, that show, Your Health with Tom Mellon and Dr. Joe Carcetti.
Great guy.
Where we covered a lot of good health aspects, right, Bree? Hopefully we'll reinvigorate that show as well. But I want to thank, once again, Paul Muller for his strong support. And we're going to explain later, I'll delineate some of the aspects and benefits and the purpose of our Heroes program here. It's not nowhere else that I know of any dealership that supports and provides benefits, especially today, the way the car industry is, purchasing a vehicle. If you're a policeman, a fireman, medical, military, any of those aspects, and family members, right here at Team Toyota, 746 East Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Great place to come in and visit. You'll see when you come into the showroom, like what's displayed now, by the Tri-State Toyota Dealers Association, of which Paul Muller is president. Some of our, they call them the wrapped vehicles, hiring our heroes, all in green to represent our services, that being the Army right there especially. So a lot of things going on here, and we're going to cover a lot with you today. You, our listeners. This is also streamed live. It'll be on YouTube now, I believe, Bray. And I'll get back to you. I'm going to explain to you where you can and how you can listen to this show if you find it to be interesting. And a lot of our shows really do cover a lot of good, colorful.
Great guests.
Yeah, great guests.
Over the years, we had some phenomenal guests on.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah. And you learn a lot. I learned a lot just sitting here listening to our guests all the time.
A lot of people ask me that question. They'll say, why do you even have that? What is the purpose of the show? Well, there's many purposes, especially, building support for our survivorship fund each and every time someone purchases a vehicle here at Team Toyota. A monetary donation, as you know, Charlie, goes directly to the survivorship fund. If it's a firefighter, when it's a firefighter, many of them come up to see me, we make a monetary contribution to the Widows Fund. And for our military, it's obviously our Bucks County Tour of Honor. Joe Saffron, the chair, Mike DeBonis, our vice president. I'm honored to say that Charlie is one of our board members. I'm the secretary. Harry Kramer, our treasurer. We got a nice board. Paul Muller is one of our honorary board members as well.
So then Matt.
And Matt Weintraub sits in with us. Frank Pirano, one of our district magistrates up here in Bucks County. great participation, a lot of things that are going on in your neck of the woods, in your neighborhood here in Bucks County, and the neighboring surrounding counties as well. Coming up, our 6th annual, we always called it the September Car Show, but now we're adding it because of all the additives and events. It's now called the September Car Show at Parks Casino and Fall Festival.
Yes, it's a great show. Even if you're not a car enthusiast, you could come up there with your kids and your family and have a really good time.
Absolutely. And that's September the 10th. It'll be here before we know it. It surprises me each and every year as I get old, Bree. Older. I want to keep counting the birthdays, though. So I'm not complaining about being old.
Yeah, I can count to 100 easy.
Good Lord, just keep bringing the birthdays to me. But this annual show at Parks Casino, they do a phenomenal job, and the support that we receive from everyone, every walk of life. I want to thank Ron Davis over at Parks Casino and the entire executive staff. A special thanks to Jerry Fretz. Jerry on our board, who's a retired police captain in Philadelphia. Jerry's on his way to Myrtle Beach. Jerry, enjoy your vacation, well deserved. His assistant, Carolyn, who's taking over at the helm while he's away at Parks Casino. I want to thank once again the entire executive staff for their support. Our Ben Salem police, our fire, our EMSs, all of our area vets who take the time to set everything up under the direction now with Mike DeBonis, who's running the show, managing everything, and helping Jerry Fretz.
And the Philadelphia police help us with the travel.
Absolutely. It's I might as well just continue to explain about this show, how important it is. It's once again, it's the 6th annual show, and it's September the 10th. And it will begin with registration at 9 a.m. If you have a car of any year, any class, that you want to beat your chest a little bit and be proud of it, there's a good chance that maybe you'll win a prize. The registration begins at 9 a.m. Now, early registration, anytime from September 1st up to now, regressing back to this date all the way up to September 1st, registration's only $20. If you want to give us a call at 215-768-6505, you give us a call, and I'll make certain that we get the early registration taken care of for you. $25 the day of, which is September the 10th, and that's over at the racetrack area. That's a gigantic parking lot that's going to be filled with some classic cars. Every year we have a lot to boast and brag about there. Our mayor, Joe DiGirolamo, I want to thank Mayor Joe. Carolyn, once again, the Assistant Director of Security here at Parks Casino. Michelle Salduti, the whole the group, they do a fantastic job. They also, Parks placed our advertisement for the show for the Bucks County Tour of Honor right on the billboard. As you're driving up Street Road, you'll see that gigantic billboard. And it's advertising our car show, and also on 95. So Parks has a steady, consistent hand, altruistically, I should say, with their charitable support to helping the Bucks County Tour of Honor.
Oh, we couldn't do it without them.
No.
They're excellent.
Absolutely. They just fire away all the time. The facilities vice president, Steve Strunk, who sets up the carpenters and sets up the barricades, all facilities. We want to thank Steve as well. I hope I'm not missing anybody, but one person that I want to give special thanks to is Barbara D'Amidio. That lady, it's incredible what she does throughout the year, bringing together, listen to this, more than 50 craft and food vendors. So if you're hungry, you want something to eat, there's everything that will be there. More than 50 of our craft and our food vendors that are going to be there. We have a band this year instead of a DJ, Nothing to Prove band, all throughout the day by Colleen Melner, Joe Gonzalez, and Alessis. They're the three entertainers for the Nothing to Prove band. all throughout the day, you're going to have music there, a lot of fun. Bring the kids. The kids are going to love what I'm going to share with you. Games and amusements, aside from the food court. Face painting. Jerry Fretz's wife, Janice Fretz, actually brings collars up for dogs in custom fits. Collars for dogs, for crying out loud. I mean, bring your dogs up there. Maybe we'll paint some of their faces as well. But there's a total, once again, of 50 crafts and vendors. There's a bouncing house there. Hit the Bell. And that's by Bernie DeSantis. He has a business down in Bristol Borough. It's called Weekend at Bernie's. And he has this Hit the Ball amusement, the bouncing house. So I know my grandchildren, Nani's going to be there, little Nicky, Brady, and Brielle, my little precious one who's only 3 years old. She runs the show in the house, believe me, for my daughter. They're all going to enjoy it. And your grandkids and your children will enjoy it too, because there's so much to do. Balloons. There's all different types of balloon designs that are going to be on display as well. Let me think. I'm trying to think of some of the other events or other displays that are going to be there. But the balloons are going to be all shaped and given out to our children and children of all ages. So it's going to be a great event. All of the proceeds, please understand, it's going to be fun. You'll get bang for your buck, and you'll enjoy yourself. Great camaraderie up there. But most importantly, it's going to benefit our Bucks County Tour of Honor, so we can bring our military. Yeah,
that's a great trip. That's a great trip for the. It's heartwarming to see the guys get down to Washington D.C. and see all the memorials, and especially the changing of the guard. That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
so
yeah, you're right.
It's a lot of work to get them there.
Yep.
But this is one of the ways it helps us finance the trip.
It raises the hair on my skin all the time when I see coming back. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
But some of the recognition, some of the people who recognize, and I'll leave it this way because I'll disguise it a little, recognize our veterans and show their pride for their bravery and courageous efforts serving our country. It brings tears to your eyes as well.
Yeah, we saw, especially the Vietnam vets, we saw them with tears in their eyes on the way back.
Oh, God, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, because a lot of them, they returned without being dignified as they should have been. They were called all types of horrible names, but that's all over now. It's in the past, and we put it behind us, although they'll never forget. They suffer from that emotional distress. But they understand now that this country would not be what it is without the courageous efforts of what they have done over the years. All of our wars. Proud country to live in. We're going to take a quick station break so that we can recognize our sponsors. But we're going to come back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk a lot about some other important topics. We're going to talk about the car industry. What's going on? Well, I can give you some answers. Yeah. It's not healthy, the climate. The industry out there is suffering with scarcity. We're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk, Jolly, about police work, how it was back in the 70s and 80s, and what it's like today. Because I think the discerning factors need to be expressed much more. We hear a lot of big social comments being made out there, negatives. It's time that we wake the communities up and make people realize we need to get back to the way old-fashioned police work occurred, effective police work. We'll return after a few words from our sponsors.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the National Sales Event. We have new Toyota inventory on the lot with no markups above MSRP. And with over 100 certified Toyotas available, you could find the right fit for your lifestyle or for your budget, with 20 used cars under $20,000. And our service and collision centers are high-tech, comfortable, and can save you time and money. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, You can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory on the lot with no markups above MSRP. And with over 100 certified Toyotas available, you could find the right fit for your lifestyle or for your budget, with 20 used cars under $20,000. And our service and collision centers are high-tech, comfortable, and can save you time and money. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net.
We're back with Let's Go Places here in the beautiful showroom, the new car showroom at 746 East Lincoln Highway. Team Toyota, a great place to come up to have your questions answered effectively and very professionally when you have your vehicle needs that need to be addressed. It's a great place to visit. I've been here now in my 15th year. It's hard to believe. In my 15th year, Charlie.
Wow.
It's crazy. But there's a reason for that. It's a great product. It's durable. It's the safety instrumentation is above reproach. You look at, it's not me saying it. The reason I'm here is because of what I've found, the quality of these vehicles. Right down, from the economy size, right on up to our Tundra trucks, our Sequoias. They're great vehicles. So it's a great place to visit. We're going to talk a little bit later on about the car industry, as I indicated. But I also want to thank Mike DeBonis for some of the associations that he's bringing to the car show on September the 10th. He's got a good group of associations. The VFW 6393 with Commander Kurt Sabaday. I hope I'm pronouncing Kurt's name properly. The Jewish War Veterans, spearheaded by the commander there, Alan Abramson. The Horsham VA Clinic, Christine Lynch, the administrator. Purple Heart will be there.
Wow.
Dave Miller. Bucks County Vet Center, Stephen Roll. The Bucks County Department of Military Affairs, Matt Allen. What a great guy. He's helping me with the Heroes program so that we can more effectively, and he'll be on some of our shows, by the way. He couldn't make it today. But Matt, he's going to be here for military affairs, representing them. More than 40,000 of our military that reside here in Bucks County. And these are just some of the groups that are going to be here in associations. Thanks to our Vice President, Mike DeBonis, reaching out to these associations, and he works hand in hand with them. As a service provider, as a service officer, he served in Vietnam. He has helped overwhelmingly, Mike DeBonis, so many veterans who, when they go to the VA, boy, that's a debacle at times. It falls on deaf ears. What falls on deaf ears? Some of the ailments and the conditions that our military received as a result of them serving during the wars, and they just legitimately want to get what's theirs, their disability. And Mike, when he walks to the Veterans Administration or calls, they listen.
That's right. Mike's a great middleman.
Oh, my God.
He knows all the ins and outs. I know at least a dozen guys that he helped, tremendously.
It's incredible. It's incredible what he does.
But, paperwork in the Veterans Administration, sometimes they can be tough.
Very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. But he breaks through all that all those boring processes and the bureaucracy that falls on deaf ears, and then all of a sudden somebody goes home, a veteran, and they don't want to continue to pursue it. They just figure all is lost. Well, when I run into people like that, as they have these problems, immediately I'll call Mike, and he has never wavered. He always is there to answer the call and help our military. So hats off to Mike. Lastly, Joe Safran, our chairman of the Bucks County Tour of Honor. God bless him. He keeps everything in order with all the groups, all the committees. His leadership has just overwhelmingly provided success for this association, the Bucks County Tour of Honor. And Joe works behind the scenes. I happen to know he's a good friend of mine. He does a lot of hard, diligent work, and you know him to be the same.
It's not easy getting that together every year. He puts in a lot of hours.
Oh yeah,
a lot of paperwork. A lot, letters, forms, information. He's right there for everything.
Yeah.
And I very rarely did he ever have to turn anybody away.
No, that's just something that we're very proud of with this show, and how we get this information out to you, so that you can hear about our public servants and what they do, day in and day out. A lot of things that occur in such a vast county, such as Bucks, Philadelphia County as well, and you just don't know. People aren't aware without these types of shows, so that we can recognize the people who live in this county and what they're doing, which is great. Some of the other shows that we do, as I mentioned, Justice for All, where we bring a lot of the police chiefs on, such as Joe Barbarilla, Joe Kelly, John Hearn now is in Newtown. All of these police chiefs, not all of them, but many of them have many years of experience where it began in the Philadelphia Police Department, going back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And now they're up here leading the way in Bucks County.
Yeah, which brings us to one of our main topics today about
police work.
Before and now, and how more difficult it is for these police chiefs than it was back in our day.
Yeah, that's a good segue. That's a good segue. I just want to mention Fred Herron, too. Fred, who was the Director of Public Safety for many years. Now Bill McVeigh is doing a bang-up job in taking the helm over in Bucks County, in Bensalem. But we do the show Behind the Badge with Fred Herron and a lot of the other chiefs and police officials. But later we'll explain the Heroes program here at Team Toyota. But let's talk about police work. What it was then in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I can go back to the 70s. You came in the late 60s, John?
I came in 1970.
Oh, so you came in the 70s as
1970.
Well. I came in 74, graduated from the police academy. It wasn't as lengthy as it is today.
We had 12 weeks at the academy, and the week of that was on the street. So we really was at the academy. Now they have 9 months.
9 months.
I don't know what they do there for 9 months.
It's incredible. Yeah,
9 months.
Yeah, the training is more extensive.
Yeah.
So these professionals, when they graduate, they have to pass these exams. They have to be bona fide, accredited, and they come out with their hearts open, and their courageous efforts are there because they're working the streets in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
When I came out, it was 16 weeks. It's about 4 weeks longer than you.
Yeah.
And I was transferred. I was deployed to the 25th Police District in the Kensington, North Philly area. Here I am, a young kid who was just used to Northeast Philadelphia, graduated from Father Judge High School, and I stand roll call, and it's like, wow. Is this Philadelphia also?
Yeah.
It was a broken down area. Sergeant James Fleming, God rest his soul, gives me a walkie-talkie this big. There's your lifeline, kid. And
I don't think they saw that on the radio.
Yeah, this wide, that long. It was a big walkie-talkie. You could probably kill somebody if you hit him over the head with it. At any rate, he says, you're going to be working 25 beat 2. Where's 25 beat 2? Well, I found that quick. Germantown and Lehigh. I get down to Germantown and Lehigh. I'm looking around, and I'm looking at the environment. It's nothing like Northeast Philadelphia. I recognized quickly. But I learned police work very effectively from the veterans. Georgie Thompson, who's no longer with us, he was a prize fighter. And I had the 2700 block at Germantown Avenue. He covered a 2800 block. So there were 2 beats, beat 2. And then he was beat, I think I was beat 2A, he was beat 2B, because then he had beat 3 up near Germantown and Erie. But he taught me how to fight, to box, defend myself when it was necessary. And there was a lot of crime down there. But there was a lot of good people that lived in North Philly as well, and happy to know that we were there. This is back in the 70s when I began. And Charlie, your version of the 70s when you came out, where did you go?
Yeah, I went to South Philly, which was good for me. I had so many relatives that lived there.
Right, so you ate good.
And I wound up with the 9th Street Italian Market beat.
Oh, you lucky devil.
Oh, yeah, so I had it, I was
like I said, he ate well.
I was the king of 9th Street, you know. That's what they used to call me, the king of 9th Street. Getting back to the academy, it seemed like you learned more the first 2 weeks you were on the street than you did the whole time you were in the academy. You just learned stuff so fast.
Isn't that the truth?
And the older guys are always there to help you.
They're there to make sure that you're safe.
Of course, I got harassed a lot because I was in the first class of blue shirts.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so we were out there, rookies out there with a blue shirt. Everybody in the city knew, oh, there's one of them rookies with the blue shirt.
Oh, you knew? They knew you were a rookie.
They knew you were a rookie.
Just for our listeners, the benefit of our listeners, they used to be gray shirts.
Yeah.
And they used to be red police cars.
Yeah, there was red police
Changed
cars.
to blue. Everything was blue then, now.
Yeah.
And then we have white cars out there now, I mean, to this day. But regressing back, I remember.
How long did we, for years, we still said the red car.
We did.
Yeah, even though the car was blue, so call a red car. Get a red car.
Well, when I was a kid, that's what chased me around the neighborhood. You know, if I was doing something wrong, I had a red car, and I said, "Oh boy!" And my father was a police officer, so I knew that if I ever got in trouble or if I was caught doing something wrong, it was not good when I came home. Let's just leave it at that. But fortunately, I tried to be a good boy, especially when I was around the red cars. But, you know, there was always that feeling of security in and out of all the up and down all the streets. I don't care where you lived in Philadelphia, whether it was Northeast Philadelphia, whether it was Franklinville, whether it was Kensington, South Philly, anywhere, Southwest Philly, West Philly, you were safe. You knew that. Doors were left open in the neighborhoods. I'm not making this up to our listeners. It was a safe environment. Why? Because the leadership back then, from the mayor all the way down to our police departments and our sergeants, lieutenants, captains, right up to the police commissioner, it was a safe environment because they were effective with police work. Bree, what do we have? 1 minute or 2 minutes?
Oh yeah.
Because we're going to take a break for a minute. But am I right when I'm saying? Oh yeah,
and our district attorneys are very good back then.
Wow! If you got caught doing something,
you went to jail.
You did. You went to. There really was a jail back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't a country club the way it is sometimes today, but it was just a great time to be a police officer. A great time to live in Philadelphia. I can't say that today. I can't. We're going to talk more about the envision that I have to make it a safer place in Philadelphia. And Charlie's going to share with me all the comments and the concerns that our Fraternal Order Police Lodge 5 will echo with us on this show, because they know that a lot of things need to change if we want a safer environment. We want to bring down the mortality right now, the deaths in Philadelphia with shootings, ridiculous. But don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about then in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and police work today. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more to share with you.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory on the lot with no markups above MSRP. And with over 100 certified Toyotas available, you could find the right fit for your lifestyle or for your budget, with 20 used cars under $20,000. And our service and collision centers are high-tech, comfortable, and can save you time and money. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory on the lot with no markups above MSRP. And with over 100 certified Toyotas available, you could find the right fit for your lifestyle or for your budget, with 20 used cars under $20,000. And our service and collision centers are high-tech, comfortable, and can save you time and money. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net.
Are you still there? I hope you are, because we have a lot more to share with you. And these are opinions that may not be shared by all the people at WBCB. These are opinions that are shared by myself and by my partner here, Charlie Esposito, who's the president of our retired police, fire, and correctional officers. We're still here. We're trying to do our best to get information out to you so that maybe you can echo some of the same comments that we see and that we know we need for change. So getting back to the 70s, here we are. I'm walking a beat for 6 months, and then I come into the police district, and my sergeant, Jerry Cloud, I don't even know if he's still around. He moved up the ranks to police inspector, and he looked at me and he says, "Are you ready to drive a police car?" Well, wow, it's like my eyes lit up. I felt like it was Christmas. Yeah, sure. Okay, so you're gonna work 2510 car, and you're gonna cover from front to Fifth, Allegheny to Lehigh. I went over the whole sector, and of course you had sector cars that were right next to you, as you know, Charlie.
Yeah.
So I worked 2510 car, learned a lot. Why? Because I listened. My father always told me, as a retired police officer, God rest his soul today, he said, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So on this show, it doesn't sound that way. It sounds like I talk a lot more. It's reverse. But there's a reason for that. But I listened to my dad, and he told me, he said, 2 ears, 1 mouth. That means God gave you 2 ears, so you listen twice as much as you speak. Listen to the veterans. Listen to your police officers that are out there, have worked the job for many years. Follow their example. Follow their lead by their example. And I did that, Charlie. You did this. You probably did the same.
I was on a car. They put me on a car maybe the 3rd week.
Okay.
I worked wagons. You worked with a wagon guy or another car guy.
Right.
And then the 3rd week I had a car. It was quiet. It wasn't that bad. 3rd district was a very small district, but it had 6 towers. So the population, they go by.
It was there. Yeah.
They go by population, and that's how they made the districts. And we had we had everything. We had different groups of people, different nationalities.
A melting pot. There was a melting pot there.
And believe it or not, we've never had any problems between the groups of people. There was fights and stuff that.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as the people were concerned, it wasn't like it is today. There seems to like there's so much racial tension today.
It's more racial tension now than it ever was.
I was in the Italian market, and everybody shopped there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. I never had any of those problems.
No.
We seem to be getting worse and worse every year. That's all they talk about, and it's really, really, burns my.
It's sad.
What I'm saying.
Exactly. The word is respect. Back then, there was more respect.
Plenty of respect.
And as you said, it was a melting pot. But sure, there were racial divides. Different areas where certain races lived.
Problems.
But there was very little problems. And every once in a while, when it occurred, the people. This is where effective police work comes in. The police officers would be detailed to a certain area, and they cleaned it up. And if somebody had to hit the dirt every once in a while, and you know what I'm talking about, that's not brutality. That's effective police work. When we were confronted and we had to effectually arrest somebody, they were arrested. They knew why they were arrested as well.
And back then, we had problems between,
races
people fight races.
Yeah.
But what's the one thing that you didn't hear every day that we hear every day today? Every day today, some poor kid's getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, there was nobody getting shot. Nobody.
No.
You fought him, he fought you, and half the time, the next day you were shaking hands.
Exactly.
Today, these kids, for some reason, can't look at each other without whining somebody getting shot.
That's
it's
the
terrible.
Truth. Yeah, well,
these families got to bury their young children. It's absolutely terrible.
It's all throughout the city of Philadelphia, too. You're not safe anywhere.
Yeah, it's horrible that we got to get back to basic police work.
Yes.
You know, my argument is stop and frisk. That was the worst thing they took away.
Yes.
If you're an innocent person, never did any trouble, it's worth a minute.
Sure.
To be stopped and frisked to save lives of other people that would, if you stopped and frisked, you could have prevented. So for you to be inconvenienced for a minute, it's worth to save lives and have guns taken off the street. So I just complaining about it is for the birds.
That's an excellent point. An excellent point. Yesterday, I'm in my office, and I bring up a YouTube. It's a picture of a police officer asking one of our citizens on the street, I forget, but it was somewhere in Pennsylvania, and the President of the United States with Secret Service was in that area. I forget the date, but it was recent. So now it's on YouTube because everybody's got the cameras. We'll talk about that later because I think there's a lot of good in the people having cameras and police officers having cameras on their body. I think that's it's good in many ways. But now it's getting out of hand. A police officer goes up and asks this gentleman, apparently a call came in, the President of the United States is in the area, Secret Service dispatches a call to one of the officers. It was a police sergeant. Walked over to the guy and said, excuse me, sir, what is your name? He says, I'm not giving you my name. He says, I'm just asking you what is your name. You don't have the right to ask me for. This is what's today. This is what society is sadly accepting, that a police officer doing his job, just trying to be careful so that this guy, who knows, he could have been brandishing a gun. A call came in. Somebody was concerned that this guy was out there with a camera, and he gave the officer such a hard time. You're not allowed to touch me. You can't do this. Am I under arrest? Am I being detained? Don't get close to me. And this went on, and the officer's standing there being, ridiculed. Another officer came over. Oh, so both of you, I want to know your name. I want to know your badge number. So this citizen quickly received the name of the officers and the badge numbers, but he wasn't giving his information out because he's protected by the Constitution. Well, the Constitution always is there to protect people, but police officers under the Constitution are there to protect society. And they were just doing their job. There was no brutality there. And he's going to have their job. He's going to have them fired. Stop it. That was just an infraction of what goes on each and every day in this country, not just let alone that one area. And what if he did brandish a gun? What if he did have a gun? What if he was wanted?
That was my example of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What 1 minute, 30 seconds, if it protects everybody else, if you can't give up that 30 seconds, be a human being, act like a man, act like somebody's not 12 years old.
And understand.
With all of that, I have my rights. Well, how am I violating your rights? How is asking your name so violent?
Exactly. How about I'd be happy to cooperate. I'll be happy to cooperate, officer. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your services. Nothing like that. Yeah. Instead, I want your name. I want your badge number. Yeah. Where's the bring? And then he wants to bring the commander down, the captain. And the officer very respectfully said, he's busy right now. And no, he's not busy right now. And he knew that. And he said, go get him. I want to talk to him. So it's getting out of hand. I mean, obviously. Effective police work, it's a tough job. Why would anyone today want to go through the police academy to be, stricken with all those types of, casualties that are out there?
Tough job out there today.
Yeah, and that's why we don't have as many.
Yeah.
Charlie and I went to the 39th Police District. I guess it's been 3-4 months now. It's Bring Cookies Day for our police officers. So we go out to different police districts. And we went to the one in at 39th, the 39th District, 22nd and Hunting Park, northwest area of Philadelphia. So when we arrived, it was Charlie, myself, and his wife Denise, who's on the police auxiliary committee. And we park our car. I get out of the car. It's 9:30, quarter of 10. Bree, at that time, we have roll calls at 7:30 to 8, from 3:30 to 4, and from 11:30 at night to 12. So I knew that whatever police officers were going to be protecting that area of northwest Philadelphia, they were out on the streets. We must have seen, Charlie and I, Denise, 12, 15.
Three-quarters of the cars. Probably
empty police cars. So when we went into the operations room and said hello to everyone, we asked the lieutenant, how many, there's a lot of cars that are down, mechanical or what? He said, no, they're not mechanical, they're workable. We just don't have any manpower. There were 2 police officers that covered a big area in northwest Philadelphia. God forbid if there's a problem. I don't know if you, as our listeners, if you have people who live, relatives, friends that live in Philadelphia, are aware of the critical situation that's going on in Philadelphia with a lack of manpower. It begins with a lack of respect for the police. It begins with the decriminalization, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But are you aware that there's areas in Philadelphia, and the criminals know it, the ones that are running around firing and shooting, they know it. They know that if they fire their gun, there's a good chance they're not going to be caught. And that's the problem today. No respect. And as a result, when people realize that there is no respect there, why take the job? Because there's no way to protect life and property. You're going to be blasphemed for wearing the badge.
Yeah, some of our classes are so small, it's unbelievable. When I went, there was 3 classes going on at the same time, like with 60, 70 people in each class at the same time.
Yes.
Now they can't get 40 or 50 in one class, let alone 3 classes. It's tough. Guys, young kids today don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it. It's not worth it to them, And then they have wives and mothers that they don't want them to do it either. It's tough life out there today.
In other aspects,
especially when you're working, there's only one other guy working the street with
you. My God! So you really have to be careful just for yourself to be able to go home that night.
And then you have to eliminate a lot of the small services that we provide for the public. You know, like little stuff that you was able to do because you had enough manpower to do it. You got to just not do that anymore. I'm not familiar. I've been out 32 years, so my son's a police officer, and I know the aggravation that they have to go through sometimes.
It's incredible, and the aggressiveness that your son has is just highly commendable. Working in highway patrol, effectively, pulling a lot of the guns off the street. Right. But there's no encouragement for that.
It's like a revolving door.
Right.
Sometimes they beat them out of that. Before you're done your paperwork, they're letting them walk.
Yeah, that's the district attorney down
wonderful.
there. Wonderful district attorney down there, and not backed by the city administration, by the mayor, who he's really a ghost now. I mean, he doesn't even. Yeah. You don't even hear about him.
You heard him. He can't wait to get out of it.
Can't wait to get out of it.
Well, why don't you resign?
Yeah, resign now and let somebody take over now.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk on the other side of our station break about decriminalization, defunding the police. These areas are major concern right now. And people sit in their homes, they're watching TV. You got to talk to your city representatives. It starts with city council and your managing staff in these counties and in the major cities, the city councilmen, your state representatives, your state senators, congressmen. They need to know, and they know, but we need more people to come out and turn things around. You're listening to Let's Go Places. I'm Tom Mellon. We're going to talk a little bit more about police work then and now, and some other things. I'm here with Charlie Esposito, Bree at the helm, our engineer. Don't go anywhere. We'll return after a few words.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory on the lot with no markups above MSRP. And with over 100 certified Toyotas available, you could find the right fit for your lifestyle or for your budget, with 20 used cars under $20,000. And our service and collision centers are high-tech, comfortable, and can save you time and money. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3. Serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1958, you can now listen to all of your BCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
Close out your summer in style at Team Toyota during the national sales event. We have new Toyota inventory on the lot with no markups above MSRP. And with over 100 certified Toyotas available, you could find the right fit for your lifestyle or for your budget, with 20 used cars under $20,000. And our service and collision centers are high-tech, comfortable, and can save you time and money. Visit one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net.
Yes, we did come back because we have a lot more to say, and gosh, we could go on the whole day.
Yeah.
Because now that we're getting worked up, the more things pop into our heads for the years of experience we had as police officers. It's just a joke. But the decriminalization, let's talk a little bit about that now. I know defunding the police is another aspect. That might be another topic for a full radio show. But decriminalization right now in many counties and states, where you can walk into a store and you can steal, that's right, steal from a vendor who's working hard to put food on the table for his own family. But you can steal up to $500 worth of merchandise and you're not arrested. You could just walk out, leave him alone. You know, he probably has a problem of some type.
They don't want to work.
They don't want to work. Let's begin with that. But they walk in, they steal what they want, and then they walk out. Now, there is one example, which, my gosh, I thought it was great. Somewhere on Broad Street, there's a thrift store and a gas station. And the owner hired, you may have heard this, armed men, able and registered to carry guns. They're armed, and they're outside, conspicuous right there. They can see that they, meaning the public, can see that they're armed at a gas station and at a thrift store. Well, there's no stealing going on there. Because
I wonder why.
Something occurs. Now that poor guy's got to pay for these armed, people to be there, armed with weapons, round the clock. But that place is, from what I understand, there's people going in and out of that store all day long. So I guess he has enough profit to cover that for costs, so that he can effectively make a living and raise his family. But that was put on TV and blasphemed by much of society today. Wake up! If this is what we are doing today to protect society, to protect our vendors, don't you think that's wrong? This decriminalization. I mean, if you get caught stealing anything, from whatever level it is, whether it's a summary offense, a misdemeanor, a felony, whatever, you should still be prosecuted. If I go into a store, I'm paying for something. The same with you, Charlie, and the same with Bree and all of us. I mean, I don't get it. And this is what society wants. They want to decriminalize some of these offenses. It's not acceptable in my book.
No.
And it wasn't back then, when we were police officers.
Logically, it doesn't make any sense at all to allow them to do that.
No.
None. And my theory is if you get a grump of people in there to looting a place, just flood the place with police and lock them all up.
Exactly.
After they've been arrested, if there are a couple of them, after you do that a few times, they'll think twice before they do it.
Of course.
And you can't just lock them up and let them go. No charges, let them go. You have to prosecute them all.
Exactly.
And I don't care if you give them all probation, but they have to go through that aggravation of bail and overnight in jail.
Exactly.
And if you did that a few times, I really believe it'll cut back on them doing that so much.
Oh, it definitely
It's horrible
will.
that they let this. It doesn't make any sense. What do you mean you're allowed to steal? What happened to,
I always
everything?
I always thought theft was a crime.
It's a crime.
But theft now has a different classification in certain territories throughout the country.
And I don't like bringing up politics or religion. That's for people in private to talk. But what happened to God in "Thou shalt not steal"? It's
a commandment.
It's a commandment, And so how could people sit there and say, "Well, it's nothing"?
Right.
But it is something.
It is something, and
it is something. And
there's credible values that have been.
We have stores that had to close down because they lost so much money.
Right.
They're just closing down, and sadly, it happens in the low income areas that
Sure.
these stores that they're dependent on, they're closing down, and they don't have a place to go in their area to shop.
Yes.
And you try to tell some people that, and they call you all kinds of names. I don't know why, but
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
If you feel supportive of some of the things, this specific topic, you can give me a call here at Team Toyota, 215-768. You have your pencil and paper? 6505. That's 215-768-6505. In the same vein, Charlie is the president of our retired police, fire, and correctional officers. What's the number there at our office if you want to voice your opinion? We'd like to put some of your opinions in writing.
I love to put them in the newspaper.
Yes.
They could call me or write me.
What's the number, Charles?
Our number is 215-335-1670. And that's our email is rpfpga, Police, Fire, Prison Guard Association, @gmail.com. And you can send some letters, and we'll publish them in our newspaper for you. And if there's any problems we can help you with, we'd be more than happy to.
If you're a police officer out there, retired, you can join our association.
And also, you're allowed to join our association is $15 a year. The lowest
That's amazing.
association there is. You get 5 general body meetings with that, with meals. You get 5 luncheons with that, with meals. You get newspapers with that. Plus, you keep up to date with all your fellow retirees.
When you break down everything that you receive, that we give you, it probably breaks down to about 35 cents every month.
If you go to one luncheon or one general body meeting, you'll get almost $15 a meal.
Exactly.
So it's
and the food's good.
Food's good, excellent.
Yeah. And you have camaraderie.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. I mean,
you're always running into guy you worked with 30 years ago or 20
Exactly. We're going to talk more on our next show about some of the police work now and then. I mean, obviously we're running out of time. We have about 7 minutes.
Yeah, why don't you
I want to
know
explain
what's coming up.
What's coming up, but I want to explain this HEROES program, its purpose and functions, the charitable contributions that Paul Muller and me as the director here provide for a lot of our associations. For example, our golf outings with the Bucks County Police Chiefs Association. Jimmy O'Connor, my nephew who was killed, Terry O'Connor, his wife, with the Terry O'Connor golf outing. Stevie Weiler, our past vice president, with the golf outing that he runs for the survivors. Tour of Honor outing. We can go on and on. The survivors out of Bucks County, as I mentioned, the police chiefs. Doo-Wop, which is coming up October the 8th at 11630 Caroline Road. If you like oldies music, Doo-Wop, it's a great day. It's a Sunday, and for $40, it goes a long way with your beverage, your food and beverage and beers, draft beer, and the camaraderie once again.
And the music.
Music is great, plays all throughout the day. That's October the 8th. There's a lot of benefits like the 5K runs. Now we're doing the polar plunge in April. Makes it a little bit less chillier.
To run into the ocean.
Right, to run into the ocean. All these purposes for good causes, Team Toyota is behind and has been for many years. But the purpose of the program is, for me as a retired officer, to help you with a very complex area, which is buying a vehicle. Come in, when you go to a lot of these dealerships, they are charging more now because of the scarcity of cars, and it's going to stay like this for a while, unfortunately. Most of the dealerships are charging a marketing cost, which is silly to say. People can read between the lines because of the scarcity and the demand and supply and demand. Well, the demand's high. If a car is totaled in a family and they need a car right away, or their daughter's going to college, they have a need for a vehicle right away. They can't wait. So many of the dealerships are charging way over the MSRP. Paul Muller here at Team Toyota has never wavered over market value pricing and manufacturer's suggested retail price. And in addition to that, you really need to call us here. We've been doing this program, Heroes program, for almost 15 years. I'm very proud of it. We're now giving you $500 off under the MSRP, which is unheard of today. And I discount all the warranties, all the protective areas of a vehicle that are important. Money back guarantee on an extended service contract. These are all important factors that you, as a policeman, fireman, military, medical, and all your family members as well, need to understand, need to inquire about. The number to call, it comes directly to me. It's 215-768-6505. That's the Heroes program. Right now, as you can see the poster there, or if you see the poster down below, need a car, call Tom Mellon. The Heroes program, it's wonderful what Paul Muller allows me to do, discounting vehicles and just providing a service that's important to you and helping you. You're dealing with brother to brother, brother to sister. I have my own office. It looks like a museum in there from all. If a firefighter or a police officer buys a car, they get the patch, and I hang it up in my office.
I call it the clutter room.
The clutter room. Yeah, it's getting cluttered up. It really is.
By the way, folks, I have 2 Toyotas, so
yes.
I'm giving you. There's a great product. I'm letting you know right away. Just the product itself is worth the time.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I care. But when you call, you have to call. You have to ask for me. If you reach someone else, it dissipates the program. You have to ask for me because I run the program here at Team Toyota. So make certain that you make contact with me. 215-768-6505. Great place to visit. A great place to enjoy your vehicle. Because, Child, you've been enjoying your vehicle for many, many years.
Many years.
Yeah. And, I can go over all the different aspects that are surrounding society right now across the country with the scarcity of cars. It's a little rough. And there's, any questions you have, I'm here to answer them for you. It's not just about buying a vehicle. I'm here to answer all of your questions. Charlie?
Really?
45 seconds, Bree? About a minute?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What's the winning lottery number?
I'll share that with you later. No, I wish I did know. But, we're very proud of this program. Charlie's very much a part of it as well. And, gosh, there's just so much to share when it comes to invigorating people and getting them involved with society so that they can make it a safer place, make where you are living a safer place. Things really do need to change in our society right now. Once again, my name's Tom Mellon. I want to thank Bree for being here to keep this decorum and keep us in shape. The program director here for the Heroes program, Paul Muller, the owner and sponsor of the show. Charlie Esposito, my co-host, has been with me for many, many years. Listen to our shows on YouTube. We stream on YouTube. You can watch these shows at any time. And our other shows. Remarkable, good shows. Here it is right here. Let me put my peepers on. Where to watch? WBCB 1490, of course. And 107.3 on the dial. On FM. And you write this down. YouTube.com/@ WBCB 1490. That's once again YOUTUB as in boy E.com /@ WBCB 1490. And then this way you can watch all of our shows at any time. And some of them, I'm telling you, Bree, sometimes I look at Bree and her eyes are like twice the size because of the shows, the cold case investigations that we have with the DA. That was a great show. Great shows. So I want to thank you again for being here. Come up and visit me anytime. Call me at 215-768-6505. As I say at the end of all my shows, Jolly, be safe, stay well, don't text while you drive. Jerry, I'm coming home to say hello to our buddy Dude and you pretty soon. And most importantly, God bless America.